Solution and colligative property. Solution and colligative property. So in this chapter of solution and colligative property, what are the topics which we are going to study? See, for Maharashtra board students will be a revision of molarity and all that, because CBSE को 12th में आता है. So first we are going to talk about what? Types of solution. Types of solution. Then we are going to talk about concentration of solution, very important. I'll stop there only. Concentration, because today we are going to touch these points. So concentration of solution, now I had done this for Om and Sanika last year, because it was a part of your 11th standard. Is this point clear? So we come to the 11th standard ka thing. First is we try to understand types of solution. So in order to understand types of solution, we once again do revision of the 11th standard. That is, I take three beakers. A, B and C. A, B and C. In beaker A, what I do is I add 1 spoonful of sodium chloride. We know what happens when I add 1 spoonful of sodium chloride dissolves and dissociates completely. So the first thing we said was it is a homogeneous solution. Not solution, sorry, it is a homogeneous mixture. So what is the criteria for a homogeneous mixture? One of the criteria was that it was clear and transparent. Clear and transparent. The third point was filterability. It passes through filter paper. It passes through filter paper and membrane. So membrane has a small pore size compared to filter paper. So very small particles should get trapped. I'll give you an idea. For example, virus can be trapped in membrane. Now that we are so much into virus and all that, when you have clean rooms, like for example this Serum Institute, what are they doing? They are packing the vaccine. So some other virus should not get contaminated. So that clean room is used and they use that membrane, HEPA filters, high efficiency particulate air. So now we talk about its size, okay. Size about 10 raised to minus 8 of a centimeter. It's around 10 raised to minus 8 of a centimeter. So this was now called as true solution. I had discussed this last year also in colloids, and I'm discussing again. Because every year this is there, so we have no choice. Then what happens is in this beaker B, I add 1 spoonful of starch. Remember, the first thing is starch does not dissolve in water. You got starch कौन सा मिलता है अपने को एक तो rice starch मिलता है, नहीं तो you get some starch for starching clothes. I forgot the brand name. So what happens is, if starch does not dissolve in water, what happens? Starch remains suspended in water. So this is not homogeneous. I'll write over here. What can I write about the properties? It is heterogeneous. Means one is suspended in the other. So while I say sodium chloride dissolved in water, I'm using the word that starch is suspended in water. Starch is suspended in water. So there are two distinct phases, homogeneous नहीं है, heterogeneous है. And then it is turbid. It is turbid, and what happens? We have got passes through filter paper. Passes through filter paper, but not through membrane. That means the particle size is slightly bigger, that the membrane is able to retain it, but not through membrane. So what is the particle size? The particle size between 10 raised to minus 7 to 10 raised to minus 4. To 10 raised to minus 4 of a centimeter. So this heterogeneous mixture, heterogeneous suspension, heterogeneous suspension, which is turbid, has a particle size between 10 raised to minus 7 to 10 raised to minus 4, is called as colloids. This is what we studied last year. How did we get the name colloid? From the Greek word cola, which means gum. So gum in water, gum is suspended in water, it will show all these properties. It is clear. And gum in Latin is called cola, hence this is called as colloids. Then in the third C, what we add is 1 spoonful of mud. We add 1 spoonful of mud. When we add 1 spoonful of mud, again what happens? Mud particle. See, very important point is here in colloids, particle not visible to naked eye. Particle, two very important things to distinguish colloids and this is what we call as coarse solution. So two things which distinguish coarse suspension is, first of all, colloids are stable. First and foremost, colloids are stable. Is this point clear? And particles are visible to, they're not visible to naked eye. Coarse suspension, not stable. You settle up after some time and particle visible under naked eye. So this is what I taught you in your 11th standard surface chemistry, adsorption and colloids. And this is what we are starting today. We are going to have what you call a study of true solution. Is this clear? So that's where we start today. So when you're talking about true solution, okay, what are the definitions? This is a very important chapter from the entrance exam point of view. A lot of questions are asked. Very easy also, I'm telling you. You know, once you understand only one fact, everything else becomes easy. Once you understand vapor pressure, lowering of vapor pressure, na, everything else is dependent on that only, and उसपे से story खत्म हो जाएगा. So now we come to what? Definition of a solution. So what is the definition of a solution? It is a homogeneous mixture. It's a homogeneous mixture of two substances. It's a homogeneous mixture of two substances. One is a minor component and the other is a major component. So they are then given a name. So you have definition of a solute. Solute is minor component and solvent is major component. Solvent is major component. Is this point clear? So then how are solutions classified? So it's the direct 2-mark question that they can ask. Is this clear? Like we had this, how are colloids classified? Na? We had sol and all that kind of thing. So here also, how are solutions are classified, okay, depending on, so we are talking about classification. So when we are talking about classification, what happens? Class is so serial number. depending on what is the solute, what is the solvent, we have different types of solution. So where do we start with? First is a solid is dissolved in a solid. A solid dissolved in a solid. Example will be alloy. Now you will ask me, sir, how can it be alloy? This is where I was talking about. That's why we started with solid state. If you remember, there are two types of interstitial defect and substitutional defect. In substitutional defect, it is homogeneous. So whenever you have a substitutional alloy and an interstitial alloy will be a colloid and substitutional alloy will be a true solution. Is this clear? Then next is what? Of course, example of alloy is brass, gold. Gold also, because pure gold there is no need, but normal working gold contains some amount of silver, cadmium and copper. Is this point clear? Then the second one what we have is, we have solid in a liquid. See how I am going solid, 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 liquid, gas. So when I have a solid dissolved in a liquid, that example can be sugar syrup. Sugar is dissolved, sodium chloride is dissolved, so many things are dissolved now. Then the third one that we have is solid in gas. Now solid dissolved in a gas is, we can say, is naphthalene. Sublime naphthalene, let us be more clear. Just naphthalene, you say, sir, naphthalene in my house is a solid. That sublimed naphthalene, sublimed naphthalene is an example of this. Is this clear? Then the fourth one what we have is, we have a liquid dissolved in a solid. A liquid dissolved in a solid, there is a typical example. A liquid dissolved in a solid is an example is amalgam. So I think this they have been asking because people generally tend to not remember this. Example is amalgam. So what are amalgam? Mercury is mixed with sodium metal, sodium amalgam. Mercury mixed with some other metal, we use it for dental filling and all that. So this amalgam, mercury is a liquid. Is this point clear? Then the fifth one we have is a liquid in liquid. You don't have to worry. It is alcohol in water. Alcohol in water. Okay. See, whenever we have alcohol in water, normally what happens is that the normal liquor which is sold, whiskey, brandy, rum, gin, they contain about 42 to 47% alcohol and remaining 58 will be water. Is this clear? So one of the units that they use for checking is proof. Remember that. Proof. If you Google it, you will know how one proof is how much of percentage, So remember, that's one way of, actually concentration. If you want, next time I'll just find out that proof thing and tell you. But I know that normally we don't talk in terms of percentage. We say so much proof. Is this clear? We can always find out here. Na? We have alcohol is 70% proof. 70 proof. Is this clear? So remember this, because sometime once they had asked this question in some NEET exam, or NEET old PMT mein pucha tha. So you remember just this calculation, 40% alcohol is 70 proof. So you can basically work out everything with respect to that. Is this clear? So 100% alcohol is 175 proof. Okay, that's another way. 100% alcohol is 175 proof. So alcohol in water. Sometimes I just remember some questions, because normally what I do is we are continuously reading magazines and all that for MCQs. Na? So we remember ऐसा ये chapter सिखाते समय याद रखने का. I forgot my chemistry musings today, but next lecture again we'll. Yeah. Now I'll do some very interesting sums on what did we finish now. A liquid dissolved in a gas. Liquid dissolved in a gas. What is liquid dissolved in a gas? It is humidity. Best example. See there's a difference between mist and humidity. What happens? Mist, when mist is there, fog is there. Let us be fog. See, fog is water droplets, what do you call, suspended in air. So what happens is, fog suspension is like clear dikhta nahi hai. But our room contains humidity. You might be having 70-80% humidity today. But humidity hai to be transparent and clear and transparent. So that transparency and turbidity is one criteria for the true solution and colloid. So humidity is an example. Then we have seventh one is a gas dissolved in a solid. Gas dissolved in a solid generally we say is hydrogen gas in palladium. I have not handled palladium in my life, so I'm not very sure. We go by the textual example. There are many things I have handled in life because I was in the industry. We used to use Rann and nickel as catalyst, it used to come in kerosene. But I have not used palladium, so I am not very sure. Then the eighth one is gas in liquid. So gas dissolved in liquid can be aerated water. Aerated water matlab kya hai? Soda. Very important. We are going to come to this. This is going to become a point of what you call discussion, because there's something called as Henry's law. It is clear, very simple, that carbon dioxide actually is sparingly soluble in water. But as you go on increasing the pressure, what happens? External pressure, the solubility increases. So that is what happens. What are these carbonated companies doing? They are taking water, they are putting carbon dioxide under pressure and sealing it. The moment you release the air, the pressure decreases. So what happens? The dissolved carbon dioxide come out in the form of bubbles. That's the basic concept. Then the ninth one that we have is a gas in gas. See, a gas in gas colloid did not exist, if you remember. Why? Because gas in gas is always a homogeneous mixture. Here gas in gas, best example is air. 20% oxygen, 70% is nitrogen, and then remaining, and you can see all this problem is because of that only. What is an oxygen concentrator? Simply it is separating nitrogen and oxygen from the air. Is this point clear? So even oxygen machine, whatever they are talking, oxygen generating machine, what are they doing? They are taking oxygen from the air. Remember I told you about Linde process. In fact, Linde is the company, now you can hear again and again they are supplying oxygen to all this thing. What is it that they are doing? They are simply taking from air oxygen and then they are compressing it. How are they compressing? Last year Linde process सिखाया था gaseous state में. They are compressing and releasing, Joule-Thomson effect. It becomes liquid. Okay, and then this liquid is boiled. So when you boil the liquid, nitrogen comes out first. When you distill it, nitrogen comes out and then you have oxygen left behind. Is this point clear? So that's what they were saying in IIT Bombay. Just you change little bit, you can convert a nitrogen, because many people have nitrogen generators in their unit because nitrogen is used for creating inert atmosphere. Is this clear? So it is very sad, It's not a very big technology. It's a technology which has existed maybe for the last 50 years. And we have companies in Germany like Lebold Heraus, La Air Liquide in France. I don't know whether anybody manufactures oxygen. So very simple. We had in Mulund, I'm telling you, a company called Inox. Oh, Inox has now become what, I'll tell you. L&T ka project ban gaya hai. So we have slowly what, removed the company. I'll tell you shockingly, we had a vaccine plant in Nirmal, what was Hext where I was working. We had a vaccine plant making foot and mouth disease, vaccine, distemper, hepatitis, leptospirosis. We just stopped it because land mafia wanted all the land to be built into buildings. And today then we are facing all these kind of things, Somewhere we Indians lack vision. It is clear. So, very much in Mulund we had an oxygen plant, Inox. Because the concentration of solution. See why we need concentration? Look, now we are facing a problem. You will say, sir, why not we give pump air into the COVID patient? उसमें तो oxygen है. Oxygen is only 20%. What they need is 100% oxygen. See, concentrate in case of gas, na, in case of a solution, a solid in a liquid or a liquid in a liquid, concentration terms use कर सकता है. But when it comes to pure gas, na, concentration is measured in terms of pressure. So we need pure and at a higher pressure. So it delivers 6 liters per minute or say 20 liters per minute, you know. So you have to know ना तेरा air में 20% oxygen है, तो percentage बोले तो क्या है? You're saying that per 100 ml, 20 ml is oxygen. So you have to know how much is present, na. So that's why we need these different types of concentration. Can be in two types, where we have solute dissolved in fixed weight of solvent, fixed weight of solution, or fixed weight of solvent. Okay, so what are the examples we have in this? We have percentage weight by weight, and you have mole fraction, and you have molality. You have molality. छोटा m, तुमने molarity सुना रहेगा. We are talking about molality, छोटा m. So what is the importance of this? See what happens. I'll teach the next one and then explain what is the importance of this. Then we have solute dissolved in fixed volume of solvent. Fixed volume of basically solution. फिर भी मैं डाल देता हूँ solvent. यह होता नहीं है generally. See, for example, if I say 1 mole of solute, I take this example over here. I am saying I have 1 mole of solute. So your solute is decided. I am dissolving this in 1000 gram of solvent, and I am dissolving this in 1000 ml of solution. अभी क्या हो रहा है? What is the difference? See here what happens, the weight of solute is, amount of solute is fixed. Amount of solvent, the weight of solvent is fixed. So this is weight by weight. So if there is a temperature increase now, the value of the concentration term will not change. But imagine you took 1 mole of solute and dissolved, made up the volume to 1000 ml. You increase the temperature, the volume increase, the concentration is going to change. When you increase the temperature, it might become 1 mole of solute is in 1002 ml of solution. ऐसा हो जाएगा. So concentration term will change. So whenever you have this, these kind of concentration terms are independent of temperature. So ये entrance exam question है. Which is the concentration term independent of temperature? तो याद रखना, which is it? You have mole fraction, molality and percentage weight by weight. बाकी जितना भी है, whatever we are going to learn, all are going to be examples of concentration terms which are temperature dependent. Is this point clear? So we are talking about concentration terms. Concentration terms. The first one that I am talking about is percentage. It is percentage by. So when I say percentage by mass, it is weight by weight. Is this clear? So what happened? What is percentage by mass? amount of solute dissolved in, understand this, amount of solute dissolved in 1% means amount of solute in grams. Let us be very clear. Amount of solute in grams. See, gram is not written as GM or GMS. Gram is always written as G. This is another mistake which people make. Okay. So, amount of solute in grams dissolved in 100 grams of solution. Dissolved in 100 gram of solution. Is this clear? So mathematically, if you try to put, percentage will be weight of solute. How will you calculate? Weight of solute upon weight of solution percentage. If you want to find percentage, multiply by 100. If percentage is given, divide by 100. If percentage you have to find out, multiply by 100. Let's take an example. It is clear. 6 grams of urea. I'm just doing few sums in this to save time, because when we do MCQs now, so many questions we are going to do in this. So तभी पक्का revision हो जाएगा. 6 grams of urea, okay, is dissolved in 6 grams of urea is dissolved in 500 grams of water. Now here, what is the mistake we can make? What is the question? Calculate percentage by mass. Calculate percentage by mass. See here, what is the mistake that people can do is simply 6 by 500 kar dega. When I say look at what we have said is weight of solution. So weight of solution means you have to find out both the weight of solvent and the weight of solute. Are you understanding? So here therefore percentage weight by weight will be 6 divided by 506. 500 was the mass of the solvent, 6 is the mass of solute, add both into 100. So 600 divided by 506, what do we get? 600 divided by 506. So that will be equal to 1.185. So that will be equal to 1.185%. It will be 1.185%. Is this point clear? So this was the first concentration term. I'll give you 2 minutes. Concentration term is percentage by volume. See, I am looking at the textbook is because I want to keep the track, otherwise I'll miss something, na? But then we can recap. So once I know what the heading is, we have percentage by volume. So percentage by volume means weight by volume. Weight by volume. So this will be a concentration term which is dependent on temperature. Why? Because as temperature changes, volume will also change. Is this point clear? So it is the amount of substance. It is defined as amount of solute in grams dissolved in what? In 100 ml of solution. Dissolved in 100 ml of solution. So percentage, mathematically what will you put? Percentage weight by volume will be weight of substance in grams, okay, divided by volume of solution in ml. Volume of solution in ml, that's very important. Okay. Now this was any volume. So if you want to find percentage, multiply by 100. So this will give you percentage. So let us look at one more sum. 58 ml. See, when we are teaching, I'll write this sum and explain to you some very important concept in this. When you put ethyl alcohol in water, remember one thing, the final volume decreases. Suppose if you take 58 ml of water and add 42 ml of 58 ml of ethyl alcohol, sorry. Okay. So if you take 58 ml of ethyl alcohol, add 42 ml of water, don't think the volume of solution will be 100 ml. Very characteristic behavior of ethyl alcohol, the volume decreases. This has been asked as one of the physical properties of alcohol. Okay. So ये क्या करता है ये लोग, ये इधर सम में दिया रहेगा. And but the question they will ask in organic chemistry. So 58 ml of ethyl alcohol I'll write the sum, then you will understand what I am saying. 58 ml of ethyl alcohol is dissolved in 400 ml of water. So what do you expect? Total volume should be 458, na? Correct. It doesn't. It to form 454 ml of solution. So this is what I was trying to tell you. When you mix ethyl alcohol and water, the final volume decreases. This is a point you have to remember. This is the question is framed in organic chemistry, physical property. So calculate percentage by volume. Put a full stop. Calculate percentage by volume of ethyl alcohol in water. Of ethyl alcohol in water. Okay. तो क्या है? So in this case, volume is not additive. It is clear. Volume is not additive. तो क्या हो रहा है? Percentage. देखो कैसा, एक तो तुमको सम भी सिखाया and one property we have explained. So it is how much? It is 58 divided by 454. And if you want to find percentage, what will you do? Multiply by 100. So percentage weight by volume. तो ये कितना हो जाएगा? I'm just doing one example and we'll do in 58 divided by 454 into 100. So that will be 12.77%. So that is equal to 12.77%. Mention here the units, weight by volume. We mention the units, weight by volume. So this was the second one. It is clear. Then we have got mole fraction. Very, very important. This whole chapter is going to be what you call dependent on this concept of mole fraction. I had taught mole fraction to you in chapter of gaseous state, where I had to talk about partial pressure. I told you, see, the pressure of the air in this room is 1 atmosphere. But you will ask me, sir, what is the pressure due to oxygen? So I had told you, partial pressure of oxygen is total pressure multiplied by mole fraction. Remember that? X of oxygen. So we are coming back to the same point, though that is not different from what I am teaching today. So when I am talking about mole fraction, so next, the third concentration term that we are talking about is very important, mole fraction. So mole fraction is generally given by the symbol X. So if it is a mole, X is X of the solute, X of the solvent. Is this point clear? So mole fraction is defined as, it is the ratio of number of moles It is a ratio of number of moles of, it's a ratio of number of moles of a component put a comma, full sentence, to the sum of the moles. Ratio means you are dividing. Numerator is number of moles of a given component divided by what? Sum. Sum means adding. Sum of the moles, sum of moles of all components. So suppose if I have to find out XB, A and B we are going to use in this chapter. We'll use A is for solvent, subscript है, इसको subscript बोलता है. करेक्ट, ऊपर रहेगा तो उसको सुपरस्क्रिप्ट बोलते हैं, सबस्क्रिप्ट सुपरस्क्रिप्ट. एवरीबडी इज यूजिंग लैपटॉप दीज डेज, सो यू नो कंट्रोल शिफ्ट एक्स विल बी सुपरस्क्रिप्ट, कंट्रोल शिफ्ट प्लस विल बी सुपरस्क्रिप्ट, कंट्रोल प्लस विल बी कंट्रोल अल्ट प्लस विल बी सुपरस्क्रिप्ट, कंट्रोल प्लस विल बी सबस्क्रिप्ट नीचे. इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर? डॉस कमांड. तो नाउ एज आई वाज टेलिंग, आई एम अ जनरेशन, आई हैव रियली इवॉल्व्ड माई सेल्फ. You people have got everything in your thing. So whenever you use subscript B, it is solute, subscript A will be solvent. So XB, what is XB? It is mole fraction of the solute. Its mole fraction of solute is number of moles of solute upon number of moles of solute plus solvent. This is what I am trying to tell you. What am I trying to tell you? That mole fraction is ratio of the number of moles of a component. What is the component? Solute. Upon sum of the, upon means dividing, sum of the number of moles of solute plus solvent. Okay, we'll do one sum in this. Is this clear? This is a very important one. This scope is, I need to, that you should know this perfectly. So what we have now over here is, see, 23 grams, this is the third problem, correct? 23 grams of ethyl alcohol, 23 grams of ethyl alcohol, okay, molar mass, 46 grams per mole, okay, is dissolved in what? 54 grams of water. Is dissolved in 54 grams of water. Okay. Molar mass 18 gram per mole. Molar mass is 18 gram per mole. Okay. Calculate the mole fraction calculate the mole fraction of ethyl alcohol and water. In solution. Okay, let's do it slowly. So first, what do we come to? Let's find out number of moles of solute. So number of moles of solute means ethyl alcohol. I'll put as EA. Okay. So that is 23 divided by 46. So that is 0.5. Okay. Number of moles of water will be kitna? 54 divided by 18. How much is 54 divided by 18? 1 minute. 54 divided by 18. So that is 3. So remember, when we are doing aage something, we are going to make some approximation. We always say that compared to the number of moles of the solvent, the number of moles of solute is very, very less. एक approximation करने का है अपने को. Okay? तो ये example अपने को explain कर रहा है. So now, mole fraction of solute, that is X of ethyl alcohol, will be 0.5 upon 3.5, 3 plus 0.5. So how much will that be? 0.5 divided by 3.5, so that is 0.1428. Now remember now you don't have to calculate the mole fraction of water like this. Why? Because what does the word fraction mean? The word fraction means a number less than 1. Sum total of all the fraction will be equal to 1. So here what happens, you have a shortcut. Mole fraction of ethyl alcohol plus mole fraction of water will be equal to 1. So mole fraction of water will be 1 minus 0.1428. कितना easy हो गया देखो. So 1 minus 0.1428 will be 0.8572. 0.8572. Have you realized? We are using the word mole fraction. Fraction means a number less than 1. So mole fraction is always less than 1. जब भी calculate करता है कुछ भी number greater than 1 आ रहा है, your calculation is suspect. Remember that. And sum of the mole fraction of all the components should be equal to 1. That is one thing you must know very clearly. Sum of mole fraction of all component will be equal to 1. Is this clear? तो ये हो गया mole fraction. Is this point clear? Let's do one more, that is molarity. तो अगर आज मैं मोल फ्रैक्शन हो गया तो मोल फ्रैक्शन मतलब मोलारिटी. ओके, तो मोलारिटी का करके एक सम करते हैं मोलारिटी का. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल डू मोलालिटी, एक रिविजन ऑफ दिस मोलालिटी, पार्ट्स पर मिलियन. ओके, एंड देन वील रियली टॉक अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट. ओके, इफेक्ट ऑफ प्रेशर, इफेक्ट ऑफ टेम्परेचर ऑन ऑल दैट, एंड हेनरीज लॉ सब आएगा. सो मोल फ्रैक्शन हो गया. वेरी गुड. नाउ वी कम टू so we come to molarity. This was fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have molarity. Molarity is given by the symbol M. Molarity is simply the number of moles. Molarity is simply number of moles N. Number of moles is given by the symbol N. Number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter or 1000 ml of solution. So this will be subject to what? Temperature variation. As the temperature increases, the volume increases, concentration decreases. Is this point clear? So it is the temperature dependent. So now what is going to happen is, so simply if you take in terms of liter, so M, the molarity will be N by V provided volume is in liter. Okay, or what is N? N is number of moles, weight. So we have one more shortcut. If you have in ml, so when everything is in ml, milliliter, say ml देखो कैसा मैं लिख रहा हूँ, M is short, L is capital, because people tend to write ml like this. It is wrong. It is clear. M is milli, correct, and then liter is capital L. ये सब छोटा छोटा चीज है, but you know, find the final volume of the gas evolved, ml लिख के half mark cut कर देते हैं, बराबर नहीं लिखा तो. You are giving chance for teachers, and then in life also you see PhD thesis get rejected because the fellow has not written properly all the units and all that. These things happen, you know. So this is the right age when all these foundations have to be taught. ये भूलता नहीं आदमी. तो listen, in ml. So in ml, then molarity will be given by 1000 into N by V. Okay, V is in ml. Okay, but what is M? N is number of moles. So we have the final formula 1000 into weight of solute upon weight molar mass of solute into volume of solution in ml. So this is the formula that we are going to use frequently. Is this point clear? This is the formula we are going to use frequently. Okay? तो ये कैसे आया? हाँ. One problem based on that. We have got space here, na? A solution of, this is problem number 4. A solution of NaOH molar mass 40, molar mass 40 gram per mole was prepared by dissolving 1.6 gram of NaOH in 500 ml of solution. 500. तो अभी क्या होता है? कैलकुलेट द मोलैरिटी. कैलकुलेट मोलैरिटी. Molarity means M. So what is the formula? Directly we have M, the molarity is 1000 into weight of solute 1.6 divided by molar mass 40 into volume of solution 500. So 2s are, so directly we get 1.6 into 2 is 3.4.2, no? 6 2s are 12. So we have 1.6 into 2, 3.2 divided by 40. So how much do we get? So this will be 0.08 capital M molar. Is this point clear? Okay, we'll stop here for the day. Next lecture will be interesting. We have molality, parts per million, and then we'll start with the effect of temperature, pressure on solution. Henry's law is aayega. Is this clear? So I take leave of you. This Sunday, coming Sunday,